Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd take you along on a meal prep video with me. This is a requested video, and so if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Sue. We're glad to have you. And if you're returning, thank you so much for all the love and support. You know that I appreciate it more than words can say. And if you like these videos, please give it a thumbs up so I know to make more. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel before you go if you like what you see. Alright, as you guys can see, I was just getting some eggs ready in the pot to be boiled. So I have those on the stove going. And then my next step is to prepare all of my fruits and vegetables. I tend to do all of this all in one fell swoop, and the reason why is because I can't stand anything more than to have one of my kids reach into a bag of produce, whether it be fruits or vegetables, and eat it without it being washed. And they get into the refrigerator by themselves half the time, and they just reach in the bag and they'll get it and they'll put it in their mouths, and then I just cringe in fear that they're eating pesticides. So what we're going to do is we're going to just get all of the vegetables prepped. I usually cleanse my fruits really well with a little bit of vinegar. And that should be sufficient enough to get rid of anything yucky that's on top of your fruits, whether it be pesticide or germs or dirty hand nasties or whatever the case may be. And that is why I do that. Also, if I prep my fruits and vegetables before the week, then we are more likely to eat and grab for the fruits than we are grabbing for processed foods. And it's not that I don't let my kids not eat processed foods, but I try to limit it as much as I can, because I'd rather them be eating something good than something not so good. So here we are picking out blueberries. I bought two different types of blueberries at Aldi's. There were two different brands, and there was two that were the same, and those were good, but that one that was different was just not that great. And so at the bottom of them was a whole bunch of squishy ones. So here I am, I'm literally picking out all the squished ones because I cannot with the squished blueberries. I just can't. They end up being slimy and I just can't handle it. So I picked out all the nasties, and I am again rinsing this with some vinegar. And it really just takes a splash to rinse that, and I have them sitting, you can see that they're sitting there in the water for a little bit, and then I do go back and rinse my fruits and vegetables very, very well. Next up is strawberries, and I do have to say, if you guys watched my grocery haul, I went to Aldi's and bought these strawberries, and these strawberries looked the bomb in the store. And I got them home. I go grocery shopping on Fridays, and I got them home, and I'm meal prepping on Sunday. Now mind you, that's like 2 days worth of time, and they are not the greatest strawberries. Like, they weren't damaged in the store, but they just fell apart in my refrigerator. I don't know. But I was quite disappointed in Aldi's and these strawberries. I really have never had that happen to me with Aldi strawberries before. And to be fair, the strawberries weren't as sweet as they normally were. They were a little bit more on the bitter side. I know it's just the beginning of the season, but even still, they just weren't that great at all. So I was quite disappointed in that. But we'll see about the next ones. Next up is I'm going to make these eggs here to get ready to go on my Egg McMuffin sandwiches that I'm going to be making. I'm making 6, 3 with sausage and 3 with bacon. I did go through and cook those with, or I sprayed the tin with some olive oil spray, and I'm just salting and peppering these bad boys, and they'll go into about a 350 degree oven for about 10 minutes, or cook them to the way that you prefer your eggs, whether they be completely done or over easy or however you like them. You can cook them to whatever your tastes are in the oven. You just have to keep an eye on them. So here we have my watermelon, and my family loves a good watermelon, and this watermelon was a really good watermelon, I do have to say. But as you can see here, I am rining this bad boy, and it is a challenge for me to de-rine a watermelon because of I'm so short, and I'm like standing. What you can't see here is that I'm actually on my tippy toes trying to cut this watermelon. I should have just had my husband come in and cut it, but he was doing something. So, ta-da! The watermelon is cut up and in that container. And my eggs I'm pulling out of the oven, and I'm going to let those bad boys come to temperature because I don't want to package them hot. That's a good watermelon right there, y'all. The next up is I'm going to be just cooking these little sausage patties up from Walmart. These will go on my husband's Egg McMuffins. And the size of these things are fairly good for a sausage patty, I think. And I did look that up, and anybody who's following Weight Watchers, that is a 6-point sausage patty. I do follow a little bit of Weight Watchers. I don't follow Weight Watchers, but I do cook with a lot of their recipes. I just can't do that Weight Watchers meticulous measuring and counting and all that stuff. I just can't do it. So I do follow some of the recipes, and the things that I do know I will share with you as far as point wise. But if I don't know the points, then I'm not going to comment on that because I don't know. But anybody who's on Weight Watchers who know the points for things, you can totally comment that in the comment box below so that anybody who's watching would have that information if they may want to have it. Here I am just putting the bacon in the pan. I cut my bacon in half, and then I peel it all apart, and then I cook it really low and slow, and that's the way I like it. I do believe that you can get 2 slices of bacon for 2 points, I think, on Weight Watchers. I could be wrong about that. And I do believe these are smart points. Again, I don't really follow the Weight Watchers situation, so I probably shouldn't even comment on that, but I do follow the recipes. That's the only reason why I'm saying anything at all. This is a Weight Watchers overnight oatmeal, and the 3 little round containers there are my husband's overnight oats, and the jars are my overnight oats. I'm sorry if you can hear that. That's the dishwasher in the background. But I've recorded this video like 3 times, tried to voice over this video like 3 times, and I'm just not going to do it again. We're getting through this, guy. We're getting through it. So we have a 1/3 of a cup of oatmeal, old-fashioned oatmeal, and then I went in there and put a ton of cinnamon in each bowl because that's the way my husband likes it, as well as a ton of brown sugar, again, because that's the way my husband likes it, and he's okay with that, and if that's what he's going to eat, that's fine. I don't care. He's got a better metabolism than me, so more power to him. So anywho, we will then go in with about a 1/3 of a cup of milk. He uses skim milk, or 2%. And yes.
I get the red thing, that white thing, and that blue thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like that blue thing, that white thing, and that pink thing.
Okay, well, can you show me? Go get it. Thank you.
It's on top of the refrigerator.
It's on top of the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Anyway, hold on, Liam. Anyway, so we are putting some milk in those bad boys, and then I just put the lids on them, as you can see there. My husband is trying to, he's not trying, he is getting the lids down for me because I can't reach them. And we are putting the lids on those bad boys, and we're going to set those aside. He does, when he heats his up, puts a little bit more milk in his, again, because that's his preference, and that's the way he likes it. On to mine. Mine is going to be, I'm going to take about a big tablespoon right there, as you guys can see, and I'm going to put a couple, 2 or 3 of those big tablespoons inside that jar there, in each one of this non-fat Greek yogurt. And I just like to kind of cover my oats up on that situation. And then I'm going to be putting little bit of cinnamon in mine as well. I will then put between like 1/4 of a cup and 1/2 a cup of almond milk in there, unsweetened almond milk. And of course, you guys know me, I'm not measuring that stuff out. I just assume that that's what's going in there. And I do believe that this is about a 4 or 5 point a 4 or 5 point overnight oats. And you quit screaming. I'm just adding some fresh fruit in there, and I'm calling it good. And then you can see here that I'm gonna be, hey, stop. Here you go. I'm gonna be adding a little extra almond milk in a couple of these, because once I shake it up, if I don't like the consistency of it, then I add a little bit more almond milk. Would this be easier for me if I just measured it out? Probably so. But I just don't measure. So there you go. A very, very easy overnight oats. I just put those in the refrigerator, let them do their thing. I pull them out in the morning and I take them to work with me. And I will then go ahead and pop them in the microwave and eat up and enjoy. Okay, next up is going to be the breakfast sandwiches, and I do use the 35 calorie English muffins here. They come in a blue and white package. I can't remember the brand of these off the top of my head. They are not Thomas, I don't believe. But you guys will be able to see the package here in a second to see what the package looks like. The first 3, I am going to just add the sausage, egg, and cheese. These are for my husband. Like I said before, I think that sausage there, if I remember correctly, is about 6 points. So for my husband's breakfast sandwich, I think that would make the sausage egg McMuffin about 6 points. 12 points total, because the English muffin itself is 2 points, and the egg is 2 points if you're counting like regular. There's so many points to the whole Weight Watcher situation that I can't really even tell you. I did follow a recipe on this one, and that recipe said that the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits were 8 smart points, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. So I just am wrapping these bad boys up in aluminum foil. I'm going to put them in a Ziploc bag, and because I only made 6 this week, I'm just going to leave these in the refrigerator, and then we'll just pull them out and reheat them. As you can see, I'm writing my name on the ones that have bacon because I don't want my husband to touch them because they're so delicious. But that is the breakfast sandwich. Again, if you're a Weight Watchers person and you want to leave those points down below, if you know the points, then you can do that and just say breakfast sandwiches, da-da-da points or whatever. The recipe that I followed said that they were 8 points for the bacon, egg, and cheese, and they're 12 points for the sausage. That's the recipe that I followed, but I don't know if they're talking about smart points, freestyle points, every kind of points. I don't know what kind of points. So this is the beginning of my cabbage soup, and I'm just taking some lean ground beef, and I'm going to go ahead and brown that up, saute that up, get it a little browned, if you will, and we are going to get the rest of the ingredients ready. So what I am doing now is I'm going to be cutting up these 4 large baked potatoes. Girl, what is going on with your mind? These russet potatoes, that's what they are, is russet potatoes. I'm going to cut them up. I'm going to put them in that little green bowl off to the side there and get them ready to be going in my pot. And again, I did get like the nasty off the outside of these potatoes, even though I peeled them. I don't know why I do that. It seems like it's extra work. I don't know. Anyway, I'm cutting these bad boys up, and as you can see there, I have a can of green beans, and I normally put corn in this recipe. This is my oldest son's favorite soup recipe in it, but I didn't actually have corn in my cabinet, which is weird because I always have corn in my cabinet because my kids love it. But anyway, moving forward, I am going to put a can of green beans in this, and I'm also going to put 2 bags of broccoli and cauliflower frozettes that I had in the freezer just to get them up and use them. I do have off to the side that you guys can't see fresh cauliflower and broccoli and a head of cabbage. I put half the head of cabbage inside this mixture that I'm putting into the stock pot, and the fresh cabbage and the other half of the head of cabbage is going into my steamer with the fresh cauliflower and broccoli and another like 3 potatoes I believe I put in there. And I steam that, and I just steam that for my vegetables for the week, because this week I'll be taking chicken and steamed vegetables for lunch. So I just have that stuff sitting in my steamer. And then so I add everything into the stock pot. I'm adding about 3/4 of a cup, no, 3/4 of the container of that low sodium fit and active chicken broth. And I pop my vegetables in the steamer, and I got my soup on the stove, and that's it. That is really all I do. We put salt and pepper in the cabbage soup to taste, and that's it. Just let it cook down until it's done, and you're good to go. You can put whatever vegetables in there you like as well. And here I'm just making some ranch dip dressing, whatever you want to use it for. I just took a cup of that non-fat Greek yogurt and the ranch packet, and I put that whole thing in that little measuring cup. And then I don't like mine as thick as most people do, so I actually put a little almond milk in there just to thin it out a little bit. And I believe that ends up being like 1/4 of a cup is 1 point, maybe. I could be wrong. I don't know. But that is another recipe that I followed, and that's what they say. 1/4 of a cup is 1 point. So feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, though. You know, I'm not perfect, and I just follow the recipes, and I don't follow Weight Watchers really, but that's just what they say in the recipe itself. Now, this one, if anybody out there wants to calculate this here recipe for me and tell me what the points are, I greatly appreciate that. This is my evening snack. So all that's in there is a 1/2 of a pint of heavy whipping cream, which is not that great for you, by the way. 1 cup of sweetened unsweetened almond milk, and then I put an entire packet of the sugar-free cheesecake jello, and I just blend that out until it starts to get thick. And then I put it in I put a 1/2 cup servings in 7 containers, and I put it in the refrigerator, and it does thicken up just a little bit. And sometimes I don't even put the almond milk in there. I just put the heavy whipping cream in there, and it kind of makes the filling thick, like cheesecake filling is. And I'll just add, some fresh fruits on top of that and eat that in the evening, and it satisfies my sweet taste. And it's actually quite filling and rich, so you only need like a little bit. That's the reason why I use that as my evening time snack, which after I get done recording this video, I'm going to eat me one. Next up, I think, is I just put some chicken breast out on this pan, and my meal prep lunch for this week is going to be some, just some baked chicken with some steamed vegetables. And so I'm just popping this in the oven and steaming or baking away. And I'll add that to my lunch containers. And then this is just some ground turkey, and this is for our casserole for Monday night's dinner. I'm making a taco casserole, which my family really ended up enjoying quite a bit, and they didn't even realize that it was turkey in there. And I use fat-free cheese in that recipe and fat-free sour cream, and none of them even realized the difference. So crazy. Anyway, that does it for this video. Here in just a second, you're going to see my meal preps. I do 3 days at a time because I usually end up in the middle of the week eating a salad. So I only make 3 containers for myself as far as that goes. Anyway, guys, if you guys enjoy these videos, give it a thumbs up.